of this entire activity around Outcome Plus, which we call Power Leaps. Okay, when I say Power Leaps, what's the first response, or what does your mind say?
Jumping.
Right, and what essentially Power Leaps are is the goals, the outcomes that you picked up is typically an year outcome, right? Now again, the idea is to, can you break it down? And we went through a process, in-grade process, where we had those intelligible, challenging, so on and so forth, certain dimensions, which makes it very specific, very, very measurable, and something that we feel like action for. The Power Leaps are basically smaller in-grade. You break this entire outcome into, at max of about 5 Power Leaps, again with these similar dimensions, but smaller pockets. Like your 21-day now is a kind of a Power Leap. Okay, you want to break it into 21 days each of a point. So for the initial 21 days, I will get up at this and this and this, and now I will go to office possibly earlier so that I come back to us in advance.
Yes.
This is how what can become a one Power Leap. For you, it may be a Power Leap, similar Power Leap into 5 instances, if these are the only challenges that you possibly have.
Yeah.
Or depending upon the outcome, it may also vary.
Yeah.
So it's about breaking your overall outcome, the ultimate outcome, which has gone through an in-grade process, into smaller subsets of in-grade process, which we call it Power Leap. Okay. Again, the idea is that a 1-year goal for you to define today and achieving is easier said and done, but if you don't break it into milestones and something that again keeps you excited and charged up, and you know if you're doing well or not. So 21 days later, if I meet you, I know what exactly would I be expecting from you. You would know what you're expecting from yourself. That's the power of something like a Power Leap, right?
Yeah.
So take your time, just take your ultimate in-grade outcome, break it into 1 up to 5. I don't recommend usually more than 5 Power Leap. If it is going more than that, great, but otherwise break it into 5 up to 5 Power Leaps, which has gone through the similar in-grade process, and then have your game plan. What you could do is, there is the refinement chart that I've created. Okay, in that you would write down the Power Leaps, put who's responsible, start date, end date, resources required, challenges, and outcome. Right, so it's like a chart, right? It's like a Gantt chart, it's like a project charter that you have created for Gogo. So that's an activity that you would do, and once we are done with this, because we've already covered the Power Leap, your 21 days essentially sounding to me like a Power Leap. At the last page of this handout, there is a cake that we have kept for you. Okay. Now, the idea again is, see our brains are very, very visual in terms of, if we show them a picture, if we show them something which is exciting and which is simple, they absorb it faster, and then so does our action happen.
Yes.
It is whatever I've covered today, it is completely based on that. So you choose your ultimate outcome, you figure out what your baselines are, you put across your in-grade process in terms of what's the along with the baselines, you put across the goals. Then you essentially talk about the challenges that you may face, then you talk about the Power Leap, and then you talk about the outcome achieved. That's kind of a chart, and once that happens, the only thing it gives us is happiness, and I'm sure that's what we are seeking for and looking for. Yeah, before we close, so any questions about this exercise process, or any questions that are there top of your mind right now?
Yes, I have a small question about Power Leap. Like when I take into consideration of my outcome, like reading 50 books a year, so can I consider one Power Leap as reading reading one book a week will be a vast when it comes to Power Leaps. So I need to break it into much finer way. So how do I mean, do I need to consider in terms of pages?
No,
This page a day.
look at Power Leap like a pit stop, or a time frame after which you would pull back and see, are you in the right direction. It could be time, it could be an activity. So your one Power Leap could be 1 book a week.
Correct.
Your second Power Leap could be getting up at 5.
Okay.
Right, so that's also, there's no standard definition, but you can look at 4 things that that you know it's working or not. Okay. Ideally, my recommendation would be to break it into look at something which is again time dimension. That exactly like what I hear from you is 21 days. Sounds like a good call. So in 20, by the end of 21st day, I should have done that.
Okay.
Now, what it also does is, in case you're not able to go in the direction or you don't cover your are able to cover your power lead, before the entire outcome goes out of hand, right? You're able to correct it and say, okay, what was we can change. Right? That's how why it makes it so powerful. So if you define break into small milestones, saying by this particular time this is what I would have done, you would know yes or no, rather than waiting for a year to say if your outcome is succeeded or not. You're able to correct yourself. So I see it from that point. No hard definitions. As I said, you can look at a vertical dimension, but ideally, if you ask me, having it as a rolling and a time dimension so that you can, after X days, sit back, relax, figure out have you achieved or not, redefine what needs to be done, something is working, not working, challenges, is there a E code, N code that has been stalking you, is there a challenge which you didn't anticipate but it is bigger than what you're thinking of, it will help you recalibrate. The idea is that we still reach those outcomes. Right? So this is how I would say power lead as an activity.
Yeah.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Good. Thank you so much, and we'll meet soon next week.
Sure.